I'm sorry, you can't exercise like this and expect to lose weight and be a vegetarian, in my opinion. The body needs that high level of protein that beef, especially grass-fed beef, gives you. Those levels of omega-6 and omega-3s clean up those free radicals in your system. You need protein. And this is one of my favorite quick one-dish dinners to make with heavy protein using pure beef and beans.
I'm Chef Todd Moore. My mission is empowering people to cook without recipes. They experience the freedom to cook what they want, how they want it, the confidence to take control and try new things, the health benefits of fresh, wholesome foods, and the family-strengthening bonds of dinner time together, as well as the money they save by eating well. Live without rules, cook without recipes. It's a no-recipe lifestyle. The best way to get dinner done with the least amount of pans and cut down on your cleanup time is a basic sauté method. We test to see that the pan is hot first with a little bit of water on our fingers, and when the water evaporates, we know the pan is hot enough to cook with. A little bit of olive oil, this is fat which will help take the heat from the bottom of the pan to the inside of the pan to the protein product that I'm going to cook with. This is a way to combine multiple flavors in one pan. So I start with my protein product. In this instance, it's North Carolina local grass-fed beef that I add to the olive oil and start searing the beef and cooking that through. A little bit of ground pepper, fresh ground pepper for seasoning. Let's make sure we get enough of this surface area of the beef in contact with the heat of the pan. Once I cover the bottom of the pan as best I can and take best advantage of that heat, let's just let it sit for a little bit and we'll see the moisture start to render from it and the proteins coagulate as the beef gets smaller and it lets out the moisture into the pan. That's a lot of moisture. And I can see my beef is mostly cooked, but I don't really want all that fat and all that rendered liquid in the bottom of the pan. So the first thing I'm going to do is get myself a strainer and strain off some of that fat and liquid. See how much liquid comes out of there. Now that's flavor, and that can be also a little bit of it returned for sauce later, but for right now, I don't really want it stewing in all that fat. But now's where I can start to really add some protein to this dish, and a can of baked beans. Just open the can, pour the beans in with their liquid, their flavoring liquid, and everything. And I'll add a second can of beans. These are black beans. Put the lid on the pan, so now I change this from a direct cooking process to a convective cooking process. And I've got some French cut green beans here that I'll put in my steamer and steam them separately. And you really can't destroy this. I mean, the meat is going to cook in a moist fashion over an extended period of time. Really, the longer that you cook it, the more you're going to tenderize the beef and combine the flavors. So after any given time after which the beef is done, and after that initial saute, it should have been just about done, now we have this nice combination of flavors. From the sauteed beef, the canned baked beans that come with their own sauce, we added some black beans to it, and this is a very good high protein meal for high exercise, high quality exercise. This will build lean muscle tissue much more quickly than a lot of sugary carbohydrates will. They call this a slow carb diet. Now, I understand that there are carbohydrates in beans, but they do metabolize better, so that when I do get back to the gym, my beef, 2 beans, green beans, and some toasted nuts will be great.
And there's no written instructions for doing any of this. You use the ingredients that you like with the cooking method that you desire. That's what we call a no-recipe lifestyle.
Oops.